Hello there guys, my name is Jay or the 8 and welcome back to another episode of the UESC Spotlights, where today we are looking at the CSV-FF survey vessel, or brackets Albert Ballin as it's been nicknamed, and it's by a guy called Mighty Brankor. Now he's actually won some of the previous competitions, and this entry is again really cool. So what he's gone with is he's gone with a very asymmetrical designed craft that has a really badass looking cockpit, something very strange and different. And then he's also got a bunch of different scripts in, like M Master's script, as well as Whiplash's rotor thrusters mod. So yeah, it's got a hangar, it's got a jump drive, it's got a crew of 1 to 4, and it also has a 3D printing feature on the back for a little drone thing, a satellite as it were, like on the Atlas 2 that I showed you before. However, the drone is a little bit different, so we'll actually give that a little bit of a test. But what we'll do first is we'll show you through the ship, and then we will take it into space and then print one of those little drones. So yeah, it's a really lovely looking asymmetrical design ship, because you don't see a lot of them. I mean, I build very much symmetrical most of the time. Some ships are an exception, but you don't see many things like this, and it works as well. There's just some really cool and interesting sort of design styles and things going on here, and I like the fact that he isn't scared of just showing the bare thrusters off and having this random mismatch of sort of blocks, which actually looks really nice when you sort of look at it from afar as well as up close. Now, there are some things to note about the outside of this ship that I'm not too keen on, and one of the things is this. And what we are looking at right here is you've got the power supply, you've got your jump drive, and you've also got your cargo container. I'm not too keen on this. The reason why is, again, for security and safety. What if you were to get shot at? I know with the competition there is a block limit, but my issue with this is you're not protecting the integral parts of the ship, because your jump drive is used for getting away as well as getting to places. You've then got your cargo, which would have your fuel and whatever else in for life support and things, and then you've also got your main power systems, which once that's gone, you'd be on battery power until the ship, you know, ran out of power. So it's a little bit of a downside to the craft, but it doesn't really bother me too much. The whole thing just looks absolutely badass as it is, and I really like it. So yeah, this is the back section. Now, it's quite nicely designed in a way that the back section sort of has a U shape in it, so he can fit in this little antenna drone, which looks like it comprises of just like a battery and an audio detector, as well as an antenna, a solar panel, and just some important key things on here, as well as I think that is a thruster, so you can boost it in one direction, and of course just turn it using the hopefully gyroscope power that is on there, because I didn't actually see if there's a gyroscope on there. That's the control block. Okay, so maybe it is just a boost in the one direction. Oh no, we do have two directional sort of thrusters, so you can sort of boost it in both directions, which again is nice. So yeah, let's go and take you on inside and show you the internals of the ship, which is a bit of a maze. I've been through it once, and it's nice, but I got lost. I got a little bit lost. So yeah, just note as well, the ship has a hangar door top and bottom, so you can access the hangar from the top or the bottom of the ship, meaning that you don't have to fly around it, which is very useful. So what we'll do is we'll fly up to this this airlock, which is more than likely designed like the Atlas one, where or the Atlas one was designed from this, where it's basically when you're in space, it's a walk one, so you walk around this and you can drop down. It uses the mag boots' sticky capabilities quite well. So what we'll do as we'll head through this door, and as you can see, we've got some nice signs up here, and it's very well lit as well around here. Now, I don't actually have my torch on, I've just toggled it just to show you I haven't. Yeah, so now then, where do we go first? Because we are this kind of puts you in the centre of the ship. You can go straight forwards down this corridor if you really want to, which takes us into the hangar area, which is quite spacious. There's a lot of space in here to do quite a lot in, which is good. Again, perhaps maybe try and, I mean, if you were to look at fitting connectors there and there instead, you would most likely get better use of the space and perhaps get 2 ships in this thing. So that's just another thing to take from this. You could utilise this space a bit better. And I think it is made a little bit awkward by the fact that the floor that you're walking on in here is actually a door that could potentially open, and you do have controls up there to open them both, as well as from the outside as well. But yeah, I like this idea though. It's you can flow through it quite well. So if you needed to fly in the bottom end, park your ship up, grab some resources, or put some resources inside the ship, and then fly it the opposite way, you can. So you can go out the opposite side and then go to wherever you need to go to. So it's quite a nice flowing sort of hangar area, especially if you're just doing quick drop-offs and things. So yes, that's a hangar. We'll open this door, which will take us into sort of the main corridors. Now, the one thing I like about this ship is the use of windows. I like seeing parts of the ship as well as bits of space and stuff outside. This is just quite nice and opens it up a bit, and also we can actually see in the hangar as well, which is good. So I like that. And we do have these very helpful floor maps which detail the date and the time, which again is very useful. And we have the life support, the bridge, the engine room, both in the left direction. We have the airlock hangar, which is behind me, and then we have the buoy control room at the back. So we'll look at that last, and we'll go through all the front features first. So if we head up here, we'll actually come to the life support first, which isn't what you think. Life support is, it's not for oxygen production and anything like that. It is the medical room, or the medi bay, or whatever you want to call it. So we have a med bay here, and then we have a bunch of cryotubes. We have 4 because, of course, there would only be really 4 people utilising this ship at one time, which is good. It means everyone can jump into a cryopod if needed for long distance space travel, rather than just having 2, which means you'd have 1 crew on, 1 crew off. So it's nice. I like that a lot. So as we jump through, we'll go through this door, and this actually takes us to the cockpit now, and if we head back down that way in a sec, we'll go to some of the other controls. But yeah, if we head through this door, we'll head into the cockpit, which I do like. The amount of space you've got in here, as well as the bits of the ship that you can see to your right hand side when you're looking out, looks really cool. And it's just such a weird design of cockpit as well, and the fact the actual LCD panels are stuck to the screens and stuff just makes it even better and that more open. So I do like this. Again, it's nice. Now we have 2 seats. We have one on the back, which is just generally for a lot of the bog standard things that you can do, like turn the turrets on and off. The merge block for the underside, I believe, and the connectors. And then we've also got door controls as well, which is quite good to have. And then we also have the pilot seat, which is controlling things such as the ore detectors, the builders, yeah, again the buoy, merge block, and jump drives and whatever else, and thruster controls. So we can turn these on and off if we need that, if we need or don't need one of them. So we could turn off the ion thrusters here, which might be a good test to see how well this flies in a second, because we're going to have to take off from this planet and get up to, well, get out of atmosphere. So yeah, let's head out, and we'll head backwards. So if we go back down here, this actually says we've got the engine room control, and then of course we've got the life support and the bridge that way. So the life support, which he actually calls up here life support medic room, is that way. And then if we head back on ourselves and head up here, we come to the engine room, which is where the large reactor are and the cargo container. So this is below that. Now, again, you've got a window here right next to a reactor that is open to the elements. If it gets shot or blows up for whatever reason, because the reactor might be under too much pressure or whatever, then, you know, this room is directly opened up to the main corridor, which can cause a bit of an issue for pressurization. Of course, you just toggle your helmet on, but you know what I'm saying. In here we have lots of controls for all the communication side of things, as well as battery power and of course turning on jump drives and whatever else. So we do have nice bits of control everywhere, and you can definitely see what each member of the crew would be doing. You'd have a driver and a navigator, so you have a pilot and a navigator. You'd then have your guy in the engine room looking after all the odds and sods up there, and then you'd probably just have a guy wandering around just doing all the repairs and all the other bits and bobs around the ship, or controlling the buoy. So there's a very good use of people in this. So if we head back on ourselves, back down this corridor, which is obviously we can cross over and get to the other side that we were on. We are in the buoy control, and this is where we can build the buoy that can be planted on, on different asteroids or planets or whatever, and you can build these and just keep replicating them one after the other, which is great because you'll make a lot of these as a ship like this, and you just turn the visibility on and off of the antenna so they don't get too annoying. We do have the controls here to activate them. I'm kind of gonna have to wing it, because a lot of it is in Dutch, so I don't really know Dutch, and if I had Robin here, then that Robin or Jeremy, that would be brilliant, or Bram. But yeah, I think it's fairly simple. We just have to turn the welders on, build it, and then perhaps turn the merge block off, and then it should just detach. But we'll find that out when we get up into space. So let us take a run all the way up to the top, which is that is actually a nice way to go. You've got a very quick way to get to the cockpit, which is great. So what we're going to do is we are going to detach, and we are going to take off. Now, as you notice, we are getting some altitude and some speed, which is good to know. It is a fairly sluggish ship. It's slow at speeding up, but if we turn off our ion, does that make really any difference? We just get up to speed a bit slower, that's all. So the ion aren't really needed for takeoffs and landings, but you'd probably want to use them anyway, just in case. So we're going to point ourselves up here now, and we're going to get ourselves out of the atmosphere, and we are leaving the planet gravity quite quickly, which is good. And we'll probably get to a stage where we won't actually need the atmospheric thrusters anymore, and we can toggle over to ions. So we're going to turn the ion off because we are at full speed. We're going to turn the atmospheric off probably about now. We're still not losing any speed, and we'll do the old toggle to ion in a second, which will be just turning 3 off and 5 on. So I think we're about half planet gravity away now, so there we go. We've just switched over to ion now, so we are using up 71, 2, 3, 4. Our power usage just went up very slowly then, if you noticed. It's going back down again now. It's sort of teetering between. It's a bit strange, but it's fine now. It went up to about 74%, and then it's starting to drop again, which is good. And we are leaving the planet gravity quite nicely. And it's actually a very smooth ride. There wasn't any real issues getting off the planet, which is good. I like it when things just happen. Now, I am considering, while we are flying, we could perhaps release a buoy. So we are still in the planet gravity, so we're just going to keep pulling away. And once we're sort of pushing out of the planet gravity, we could perhaps launch one. Or in fact, we could turn our inertia dampeners on, we could slow down, come to a nice halt, hopefully not go backwards and get pulled back into the planet's gravity, because that would be awful. And what we could do is we could have a run down to the buoy room, and being as we are slightly on the piss, we could build a buoy and release it to the planet just to make sure this thing works properly. So what we'll do is we'll sort of set it up here, and we do have 0.11 Gs, so this should get pulled away. So if we press 8, that turns the welders on, and then if we hit so if we hit 9, it merges, and then if we hit it again, it actually disconnects. And there you go. So that's very nice, actually. Look at that. We built ourselves a nice little sail barge that we, I think, have control over. Yeah, large grid. So if we go to the control block, wherever it might be, and control it, we actually have boost over it now. Check this out. Way! So we physically can boost that forwards and backwards, so if we wanted to push out of a planet's gravity we can, but as you can see, it is getting sucked back into this Goliath of a planet and sinking down. So we'll probably see that disappear soon. But yeah, this ship works really freaking well. It flies well. For something that utilises rotors, it's worked remarkably well, and I really do like the whole design and the features that it comes with. So, well done, Brankor. This is an absolutely stunning ship yet again. And if you guys have enjoyed this video, go and check out the build. The link to the build on the workshop is below in the description. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you haven't, you know where the freaking button is, and I will see you guys later. Peace!